Again, I welcome you to this channel, Rexsam, the Solar Doctor. I want to give you maintenance and troubleshooting tips on this solar system. How do I keep my solar system effective? How do I use it to ensure that it lasts very long? The durability is very important to anyone that uses his money to run an installation. As you all know, solar energy at the first place is a bit cost. So when you invest your money, you need to actually get the value of the money you spend in harnessing this energy. So when this is done, most of the times the installers make some mistakes that may cause the owner to spend more during maintenance. But solar energy is actually a free maintenance things. So, but sustaining this thing and making it not to cost you again is what I'm going to teach you in this video. In this video, you are going to learn on how to make your system last longer. I will show you how you can actually use your system from 5 years and above. So these are the things you need to know. And when it develops little fault, how do you handle it? Handling this fault will help you to know that when you keep these rules, it will guide you to make your system last very long. For instance, if your system have served you over 5 years, you have to consider the materials you are using. What are the components that is being used during the installation? First, the cable they use, is it normal gauge of wire that is in the cable? Then you also consider the type of inverter that is given to you. You also consider the battery, the cycles of the batteries that is given to you. As you all know that in this cycle battery, we have basically the tray that is very effective. We have the SMF, which is the dry cell, we have the tubular, and we have the lithium battery. So, but when you are considering all these things, you should know the cycles of the internal resistance of these batteries, because that's what will keep them and make them last very long and last very long. That's it. Now, when you do this, what do you need to do in order to make this maintenance? For instance, you are using a tubular battery. It should occur to your mind that every 3 months you should be able to look at the gauge of these batteries and see if the distilled water or the mineralized water has reduced. If that is reduced, you have to top up the next one to ensure that you revive the battery. So considering this, you also know that you should constantly clean up your solar panel in order to make the charging effective. Yes, when your solar panel is dirty, or probably there is a lot of dust or any dirt that has occupied the cells, it will make the solar panel not to generate enough energy. And when this is not maintained, it will definitely make the system to go low. So you actually need to constantly clean your solar panel, make it clean, which is not very hard to do. In my next video, I will show you how you can clean and maintain effective clean solar panel. You actually need water, detergents, and other things which is very minor for you to use in cleaning the solar panel. And when that is done, you will harness energy and revive your system. Then in the same way, you have to consider the load appliances you put in your system. For you to enjoy this system, you should know that there is a specific capacity that is meant for a specific size of inverter or solar system. You cannot be using 1 kVA and be giving it a load of 2000 watts. No. So per time, you consider what you are using. If you are adding more appliances, you should also be considering the size of your system before adding any appliances to it again. In the same way, when this system is faulty, how do we troubleshoot it? Very important. How do I find out what is wrong with this system, or how do I revive the faulty system? It's very important. There are things that happen around the solar system. For instance, you come to a point where your solar system does not come on again. What caused it? First, you should know what happened before you start to troubleshoot. Always take your time to ask the user little questions about the previous activities before the systems went down. You are getting what I'm saying? So you should be able to ask your client that is using the system the last activities of the system before it went down. For instance, you came to a place and they are telling you that the system does not come on. First, you should ask them what happened that made this system to break down. Did they plug things that is not needed? When I mean plug, do they apply it to a high load? Then you find out first. Then if that is not, after asking the question, you use your instruments, your troubleshooting tools like the multimeter, your electrical tester. You use all those things to determine probably if this is what they do or this is what causes, because for you, to every cause there is a threat. Understand? So whenever you see a system that goes down, there must be something that has occurred that break down the system. And if that is not find out, you will end up spending much time in troubleshooting. So for you to keep your system and make the troubleshooting easier, you have to consider these things, these tips that I'm giving you now. First, find out what happened at the first time before you jump in to run any troubleshooting. When you might have done that, you actually now use your tools or your troubleshooting equipment to find out what happened. Then make sure you check the components that are involved first. Like for instance, when they say the system does not turn on, first after asking the question, the next thing you have to check, you check the protective devices in the system, like the breaker, whether it's tripped off. Then after checking that, you check the switch, if the switch is still turning, still okay, like the toggle switch, if it is still working properly or not. Then when you might have checked that and found out that section is okay, you have to also centralize it to a particular point. Understand? You also know that if this happened, this is what caused it. If this one happened, this is what caused it. That means you as an installer might have given yourself to training to know how to run troubleshooting and also know how to run some certain repairs. For instance, when that happens, you have to make sure that you channel the fault to one particular point and determine what happened there. Perhaps there is a bunch of components in it. You should know that for this component to get burned, it must have gone through a series of segments. So know the particular thing that will happen per time. Like an inverter, we have so many systems. We have the MOSFET side, which is the switching side. Then we have the power side, we have the oscillator. Understand? So all those factors and areas, you should know their functions per time. Then you have the display. You should also know that this display, which is the monitor, what does the interface show you between the user and the person that is running the installation. So when these are considered, you know their specific function, so that whichever one that happens, so that this is exactly what the problem is. And when this is done, you will actually have your system to be troubleshoot and put in it and put them to check as well. So I want to tell you that this troubleshooting and maintenance tips is very important. And as you're watching this video, click on the subscription button as I bring you more values. Thank you for watching this video. See you in my next video. Thank you.